Thank you. And a big hello to the people of Cunningham. I'm very glad to be here today. I'm only going to talk a little bit about myself. Okay, I'm a Christian, family man. I'm married, 8 children. My youngest are 10 and 13 years old, gifted students. My oldest 6 are all college graduates. We love this part of the country. My wife Ann is a social worker. I'm a retired architect and a retired small business owner. Okay, we've been here a little over 11 years, and this is our permanent home, Montgomery County. Now, platform-wise, I'm big on healthcare, education, helping our veterans and our elderly, our infrastructure, and jobs. Very important to get jobs into the area. We're even looking at the point of attracting an amusement park into the area to bring in tourist money, have something for our youth to do, and have an additional place for our youth to work. On the medical, we need to close the gap. There's 280,000 people in the state of Tennessee, 12,000 in Senate District 22 alone, who are totally uninsured because of the gap. Now, the current senator has proposed, I believe it's a debit card system, where he would get people out of TennCare and give them $2,000 debit card. Well, I had to tell him at the Clarksville Area Association of Realtors debate that $2,000 on a debit card wouldn't cut it. I have Medicare and Medicare Advantage, but a $2,000 debit card 7 years ago when I had bladder cancer, if that's all I had, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd be dead, folks. Okay. The other thing on veterans, we really want to get, this campaign really wants to get the tax exemption back in for disabled veterans. It was only a partial fix this past legislative session. I'll tell you what happened. The Hall income tax, which is a tax on stock dividends and bond interest, that was reduced. That was reduced from 6% rate to 5% rate by Senator Hall. That's a 17% cut in taxes. Any tax cut is good. I'm in favor of tax cuts. But the state of Tennessee will lose this year, will lose alone $45 million because of that tax cut for the top 2% in earnings of the people of Tennessee. That's only the top 2% even pay that tax. $45 million. Meanwhile, the veterans, the disabled veterans, they needed $7 million for their property tax exemption. The state Senate, including Mark Green, cut that $7 million that they needed down to $900,000. In other words, they only got 14% of what they needed. So the disabled veterans got 14% of what they needed, while the wealthy got a 17% tax cut. What that tells me is that the disabled veterans are carrying the wealthy people on their backs, and that's not fair. We want to get the full tax exemption for disabled veterans back in place. As a matter of fact, I don't think disabled veterans, 100% disabled veterans, should pay property tax at all anyway. Okay, now, I want to touch a little bit on education. I'm a big fan of public education. I'm in the schools every day. I have lunch with my children. I volunteer. I worked with Common Core. I think the children did great with Common Core. We're getting rid of it. That's okay. We got something else. But we need to make our schools stronger. We need to increase teacher salaries. We need smaller class sizes. No more 40 students to a class. We got to get them down to 20, 22. We need to bring our schools up. We don't need vouchers to send our students to private schools. That takes money away from the public schools. Okay. Our infrastructure, we need to repair the roads. We need to fix the flooding areas out in Stewart County. We need to just go through and get everything up to date. It'll help our economy. We can't have a good, strong economy without a solid infrastructure to handle it. If I'm running out of time, please tell me. Okay, but anyway, I'm glad to be here. I hope you'll consider voting for me. It's easy to remember my face, not so easy to remember the name. The name is Cutting, David Cutting, State Senate, District 22.